As we start working with Maya, we're going to be working with a lot of different types of files. Maya has its own file format, Maya binary, which it uses to store all of its geometry data and all the scene data. But it also can pull from a lot of different files outside of itself, such as textures or image files, that sort of thing. So, what Maya does in order to keep things organized, it creates what's called a project. Now, a project is just a standardized directory system that organizes all of your data, so it's all in the same place. In fact, I can show you what a project looks like. I'm going to minimize Maya here, go out to my desktop. And if we go into the exercise files directory that we've placed on our desktop, you'll see that each one of these directories here is actually a project. So if I go into O1 Essentials, you'll see I have all of these different directories, and those are really just places where Maya puts things. So for example, particle systems might be here, stuff related to Mel scripts are here, source images are where we usually put our image files for texturing, that sort of stuff. So it's all in a standardized directory format. So when we work with files, particularly in this lesson, we're going to need to set projects so that Maya knows where all the texture files and everything else is. We can do that through the File menu. So we go File, Project, and we have a couple of options. One is New. Let's go ahead and take a look at what that is. And so if you're starting from scratch and you're just creating your own project, you can just go Project New. And it brings up this window. And this allows you to give the project a name and then browse for a location. So we can actually put this wherever we want. And once we do that, we can just hit this button down here in the middle called Use Defaults. And what that does is it just gives all of these directories a name. And then if you hit Accept, it'll go ahead and create that project. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of that because we already have the project set up. So let's go ahead to File, Project, and let's just go Set. And what we can do is just scroll up to our desktop, go to Exercise Files, which is that directory we put on there, and just expand that. And then we can set any one of these projects as our project directory. So for example, right now we're in Chapter 1, so I'm going to set my project to O1 Essentials and hit OK. And now all of my pathing is set so that Maya will find all the files associated with that project. Now, projects are really important if you're going to be moving your data around. If you want to move your data to another computer or collaborate with somebody, I would highly recommend you use projects. Now, Maya doesn't strictly require that you use projects. You can actually put the data anywhere you want. But the problem is that if you move your data to another computer or something else, then you have to go through and reconnect everything so that it can find all of the files. If you keep everything in a project, then you can just move all the directories associated with the project, reset the project, and everything will be there. So it makes a lot of sense to work with projects, and I'd highly recommend that you get in the habit of doing that as you use Maya. So now that we've set our project, we can go ahead and start working with actual models and data.